What's going on, guys? I'm Zach from the Lumios Post, where we talk about all things Pokemon, and today we will be talking about what I believe is the gimmick for Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet. Before we begin, obvious disclaimer that this is purely speculation. This is not based off of anything confirmed or anything leaked, frankly. This is just my personal opinion based off of what we have seen from the trailer for what the gimmick could be for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Now let's just dive right in. In the trailer, we see this plaza in the kind of Barcelona-inspired city, and it seems to be a really important part of this region because it is shown over and over and over again. It seems to have this almost diamond-like shape, or this even sun-like shape, which seems to be important to the gimmick as it is on the Japanese logo for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, and there is a history of putting the gimmick on the Japanese logos of Pokemon games. So that kind of implies that, to me at least, that there may be some correlation between that logo and this plaza. And the plaza has the types all around of the Pokemon. And by the way, there are only 18 here, so no new type this time around, okay? Only the 18 that we had last gen will be in this gen. But then in the middle is a rainbow, so it's like all the types are almost like coming together. It really seems to be a big theme of light and these types and all that. And so I think it's safe to say that the gimmick will somehow involve types. There's a lot of speculation to this. I've actually previously talked about on the channel, my very first video, in fact, talked about how there's a theory that it could involve a type that is accessible only in battle, much like how when Arcanine, a pure fire type, uses the move Burn Up, it loses its fire type and becomes just no type, but it's only for the duration of battle. It could be something like that, but my personal opinion is that it is going to be type swapping. And I'm going to dive into how this could work, how I think this will work, and what exactly it could mean for these games. Okay, so first off, I'm just going to explain that there are 18 types, right? So that's an even number, which means that each type could be in a pair with another type. These would be the types swapped into, and it would be a Pokemon's primary type that is swapped. So, for example, let us say that fire and water are the two types that are connected. So I have a Charizard, a fire and flying type. We're going to call this gimmick Alter, because I'm altering its type. I alter my Charizard in battle, and it changes that fire type to a water type. It still keeps the flying type, it just changes the fire type for the water type. I imagine along with this, its fire type moves would now become water type moves to take advantage of that stab, but maybe they do something different, I don't know. But that's the case. Charizard becomes water flying now. If I were to alter my Blastoise, he would go fire, and each type is set to another type, if that makes sense. Because again, 18, that would be 9 different pairs, and they would work backwards and forwards. Fire would become water, water would become fire. Now, I imagine that any Pokemon could be altered, and they would just kind of get a glow around them to represent that type. So, for example, my Charizard that has been altered into a water flying type would have a blue aura around it, a dark blue aura around it to kind of let you know, hey, it's a water type. Well, then, I think there are some Pokemon that could perhaps get a special form, and they get this special form because their type that they alter into actually is not normal. It's not the type that is normally altered into. So, to keep using Charizard as an example, normally when I alter fire, it becomes water. Well, maybe in this case, when I alter fire, it becomes ice. So, when I alter my Charizard, it becomes ice flying. And because this is different, because this is not normal, normally it will become water, Charizard would get a special form to coincide with this. Or, and it could be both of these things, but it could also be a thing of Charizard's second typing might also get altered, and so he would get a form from that as well. So, for example, let's say that Flying and Dragon are paired. When I alter my Charizard, his primary typing, fire, changes to water like normally when I alter a Pokemon, but his flying typing, too, changes as well. It changes to what flying's paired with, we'll say ground. So Charizard becomes a water ground type and gets an exclusive form of this because both of its types are changing, not just it. I imagine that this would, a bunch of Pokemon would get something special like this. Like, let's say electric is tied to grass, so normally when I alter an electric type, it becomes grass. Probably like Pikachu, they would make it where instead when you alter it, it becomes fairy, or special Pikachu you can catch when you alter them, it'll become fairy. Kind of like the Dynamax factor, the Gigantamax factor was tied to special Pokemon. You can Dynamax a Gengar, or you can get a Gengar that can Gigantamax. It'll be a similar thing here, I'd imagine. So I can get a Charizard that can just alter to water flying, or a Pikachu that will just alter to grass. But I can also get a special Charizard that will alter to water ground, or a Pikachu that will alter to fairy. So I think that could really work. And just to clarify something, let's say normal and ghost are paired. Well, then you look at a Pokemon like Hisuian Zoroark, who is a normal and ghost type. Well, what would happen there? Because then when I'm altering Hisuian Zoroark, it is becoming a ghost type, replacing its normal type. So is it ghost type? No, it would just in that case revert to pure ghost type. I think that this could actually be really helpful for a lot of Pokemon. While that definitely wouldn't help Hisuian Zoroark's case because it has an amazing typing competitively, it could help another Pokemon, because say like Aggron, for example. If Steel and Rock were tied together, Aggron currently, because of its Steel Rock typing, has a quad weakness to ground and a quad weakness to fighting. But maybe in his case, since Rock and Steel would be tied together, hypothetically, I don't actually know the pairs they do, if this is even it, then Aggron Steel would revert to Rock when he's altered, so he will become a pure Rock type. So it actually does kind of give him an edge in the same way that Aggron's Mega, turning him pure Steel, kind of gives him an edge competitively because it's a better typing. These are just, again, 100% my thoughts. I hope this isn't too confusing. I know it's something that's a little tricky to walk through, but I think it could be really cool, especially because any Pokemon could alter their typing, so at any point you could get an edge in battle by altering your Pokemon's typing. I imagine you could only do this once, like a Z-move, a Mega, or Dynamaxing. But I think it will be really neat. It could maybe let some older Pokemon, or Pokemon that aren't typically very competitive, shine in the same way that Dynamax, Megas, and Z-moves allowed for them to. And I think it will be really neat to have these other forms that get a special form for them instead of just the aura around them, that not only give us new gimmick forms, because we do enjoy those, but also allow you to really shake up the battle. Because then when I'm bringing a Charizard, kind of similar to Dynamax and Gigantamax currently in Sword and Shield, you wouldn't know, okay, is he Dynamaxing that Charizard, or is he going to Gigantamax that Charizard? Which one am I dealing with? One that has a fire move that's going to set up the sun, or one who has G-Max Wildfire, which, does damage to your team every turn. This would be similar because you'd be sitting there going, okay, well, he has a Charizard on his party, but is it the one that alters to water flying, or is it the one that alters to water ground? You wouldn't know, and so I think it would add that element of mystery that Dynamax does, as well as adding the big game changer that people, I feel like, would like a lot more, like Megas, because I think Dynamax wasn't quite as well received because people felt like it was just Pokemon go big, and this wouldn't be that. It would be them altering their types, which I think is a really cool concept, and it's something that Pokemon's kind of arguably played around with regional variants and people loved. But I think this would be really neat. Obviously, these would be forms that are only in battle. So, like, for example, when Charizard is altered to water flying, that would only be in battle. That aura, that typing would only be in battle. And then if I get the special Charizard that alters to water ground, that form would only exist in battle when I alter it. It would go back to normal when it's fainted or maybe even switched out. I'm not sure. But I do definitely think that if I am wrong about this, there will be typing involved in the gimmick, whether it be changing your moves typings, a third typing, a battle-only typing, an altering typing. I definitely think it will involve typing. I think there's plenty of evidence to say it will involve typing, and I really think that this has a very decent chance of being what it is. So let me know in the comments below what you think about this. Would you like it this way? You know, if you've got any advice on how to tweak it, let me have it. You know, and just let me know how good you think this could be for the format, whether that is you playing through the game, or if you're a competitive battler like myself, how that would be for competitive. So thank you guys for watching. Of course, be sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, because we do talk about all things Pokemon here, and that definitely includes Pokemon Scarlet and Violet stuff. When we know the gimmick, we will, of course, talk about what it is and what it actually is and dive into it, all that fun stuff. So you don't want to miss it. Like, subscribe, bell. Trust me, you want to hit it. And until next time, I'll see all of you later.